Last night, I walked down a road paved with memory. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, the sun setting behind the trees, casting long shadows on the path. It felt like a journey back in time, each step echoing with the whispers of the past. In my dream, I stood before a weathered iron gate. Its surface was rough and rusty, telling tales of years gone by. The gate seemed to beckon me, inviting me to step closer and explore what lay beyond. It was the gate to my childhood home, a place I haven't seen in years. Memories of running through that gate, eager to play, flooded my mind. The house beyond it held countless stories of my early years. The gate was just as I remembered, strong and guarding. It stood as a sentinel, protecting the cherished moments of my youth. Its presence was both comforting and nostalgic. It held years of laughter, secrets whispered, and dreams shared. The gate was more than just an entrance. It was a witness to the joys and sorrows of growing up. Seeing the gate in my dream, so real and familiar, brought a rush of childhood memories. It was as if the past had come alive, each detail vivid and clear. I remembered sunny afternoons spent playing with friends. The yard was filled with laughter and the sound of running feet. Those were the days of endless games and boundless energy. I remembered the warmth of my grandmother's hugs. Her embrace was a safe haven, filled with love and comfort. She was the heart of our home, always there with a smile and a kind word. The gate was a portal to a simpler time, a time of innocence and joy. It represented a world where worries were few and happiness was abundant. As I pushed open the gate, I felt a sense of both excitement and trepidation. What awaited me on the other side? The anticipation was palpable, a mix of curiosity and nostalgia. It was like stepping back into the past. But something was different. The familiar path seemed to have changed, altered by the passage of time. The once familiar path, lined with vibrant flowers, was now overgrown and barely visible. Nature had reclaimed it, adding a touch of wild beauty to the scene. The air felt heavy with change. It was a reminder that while memories remain, time moves on, and with it, everything evolves. I continued down the path, my heart pounding with a strange mix of anticipation and unease. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, a stark contrast to the crisp, clean air I remembered from my youth. Each step I took seemed to echo in the silence, amplifying my sense of isolation. The familiar sights and sounds of my childhood were gone. The laughter of children playing, the distant hum of a tractor, even the chirping of birds seemed to have vanished. Where vibrant blossoms once lined the path, there were now only tangled weeds and wildflowers. The once well-trodden path was now a mere shadow of its former self, overrun by nature's relentless march. I felt a pang of sadness, a longing for the way things used to be. Memories of carefree days spent exploring these woods flooded my mind, making the present reality all the more jarring. Suddenly, I saw a figure standing in the distance. My heart skipped a beat as I squinted, trying to make out who it was. As I got closer, I recognized her. The way she stood, the tilt of her head, it was all so familiar. It was Miss Johnson, my childhood nurse. She had always been a pillar of strength and comfort in my early years. She had cared for me countless times, her gentle touch soothing my childhood fears. Her presence had always been a source of reassurance, but her face, once etched with kindness, now held a stoic expression. It was as if the years had carved away the warmth, leaving behind a mask of resilience. "Miss Johnson?" I called out, my voice trembling slightly. The words felt foreign, as if they belonged to someone else. She turned, her eyes widening in recognition. For a brief moment, I saw a flicker of the old Miss Johnson, the one who had been my guardian angel. But instead of warmth, I saw a guarded look in her eyes. It was as if she was bracing herself for something. "The path has changed," she said, her voice devoid of its usual warmth. Her words were heavy, laden with unspoken truths. "It's no longer the straight, easy road you remember." Her statement was a stark reminder of how much time had passed and how much had changed. Her words hit me like a ton of bricks. The reality of the situation was sinking in, and it was almost too much to bear. Confused and disheartened, I watched as she pointed towards a winding, unfamiliar road that snaked its way through the overgrown garden. The path ahead was uncertain, much like the future that lay before me. Miss Johnson's words echoed in my ears long after she was gone. "The path has changed." It was a simple statement, yet it carried the weight of a profound truth. Her words lingered, resonating with a depth that I couldn't quite grasp at first. It was as if she had seen into the very core of my being, understanding the turmoil that lay beneath the surface. I felt lost and betrayed, as if the very foundation of my memories had been shaken. The once straight and familiar path of my childhood had been replaced by a winding, uncertain road. It felt like a cruel trick, a betrayal of the past. The security I once knew was now a distant memory. I longed for the comfort of the familiar, the security of the known. But standing at the crossroads of memory and change, I felt a wave of emotions wash over me. Sadness for the loss of what once was, fear of the unknown path that lay ahead, confusion about how to navigate this new terrain. Each step forward felt like a step into the abyss. The familiar landmarks of my past were now shrouded in uncertainty. The places that once brought me joy now felt foreign and distant. I stood at the edge of a precipice, looking out at the horizon, unsure of what lay ahead. The journey was daunting, but I knew I had to move forward. The echoes of the past whispered in my ear, reminding me of the strength I once had. I had to find that strength again, to face the unknown with courage. The path ahead was dark and uncertain, but I knew that with each step I would find my way. The journey was mine to take, and I was ready to face it. Confusion about how to navigate this new terrain, but amidst the confusion, there was a glimmer of hope. A hope that with time, the path would become clearer, and I would find my way through the darkness. Section 4. Change, an inevitable journey. As I woke from my dream, the emotions lingered, slowly giving way to reflection. The dream, I realized, was more than just a journey back to my childhood home. It was a powerful metaphor for life itself. Life, like that winding road, is a journey of constant change. Nothing stays the same no matter how tightly we cling to the past. The straight, predictable paths of our youth inevitably give way to winding roads with unexpected twists and turns. Just like the overgrown garden, life is full of seasons. There are times of growth and vibrancy, and times of decay and dormancy. There are times when the path is clear and easy to follow, and times when we feel lost and uncertain. Section 5. Embracing new paths. The dream was a powerful reminder that change, though often challenging, is an integral part of life. It is in the letting go of the old that we make space for the new. It is in embracing the unknown that we discover hidden strengths and uncover unexpected possibilities. The overgrown path, though initially daunting, held a certain allure. It whispered of adventure, of undiscovered beauty waiting to be found. It beckoned me to step outside my comfort zone and embrace the unknown. Perhaps, I thought, this new path, though different, could lead to something wonderful. Perhaps the very act of navigating its twists and turns would reveal hidden strengths and resilience I never knew I possessed. Section 6. What changes have shaped your life? As I reflect on my dream, I can't help but wonder about your journeys, dear readers. What familiar paths have you walked? What changes have you faced that have reshaped your world? Have you ever felt lost and uncertain when life took an unexpected turn? Have you ever discovered hidden strengths and beauty in the face of adversity? Section 7. Finding wonder in unexpected places. Life is a journey of constant evolution, and change is the only constant. Let us embrace the unexpected turns, the winding roads, and the overgrown paths. For it is in these uncharted territories that we often discover the most breathtaking views and the most profound truths about ourselves. Let us find wonder in the unexpected, strength in adversity, and beauty in the ever-changing tapestry of life.